So guys, let's begin. Before you do anything, you want to remove the battery cable. Just disconnect something. Usually just the ground would work. So a number 10 key would do the trick. The reason I just sigh like that, because I'm kind of thinking the whole time, every time I'm doing something. I just looked down here at the bottom, right behind this plasticky radiator type of cap, and what I did notice is, obviously I know this radiator cap, if you watched some other videos before that, I already explained, it's leaking. And my question is, because it's from the plastic cap and it's from the back and there's crucial sensors behind there, I'm thinking, what if the water is actually getting on some of the electronic connectors over there, especially on the temperature sensor, and somehow it's getting made past the plastics, and maybe it's, you know, causing a short. Just a wild guess. I would not bet my money on it, but I'm kind of thinking, what if? So once I actually fix that other issue, if it's going to continue, even though I'm thinking it's going to solve it for the most part, that's the next issue I need to tackle, is with the radiator. The only reason I haven't done it already, it's been like this for a while, and every time I would open up my radiator cap, I would notice it's a little bit low. I could still see the water, but it's just a little bit kind of like, you know, towards the bottom of this jug, because it's at an angle, the way they splice it together. So I would look at that and I would say, you know, it's not causing any issues right now, so, you know, I haven't tackled it. So anyways, enough talk over here. We're gonna go ahead and start disassembling the electronic part next on underneath the steering column, now that the battery cable has been disconnected. Alright guys, I hope this is kind of noticeable. I'm trying to shoot with the GoPro and with this to get you guys a better view, but this is in between the steering column and everything else, and I got to work back here. So it's not that easy, but we're going to be disassembling this whole thing right now. So what we want to do first is twist that little thing open. So I'm just going to place a lot of items over there on that side. So now that we have this little lid out, we could begin by removing this electronic portion. But before we do, we need to remove the plastic piece. So for the plastic piece, and you could just use the cup holders for some of your bolts and stuff. Okay, we have the two out. Now you need a number 10, and can't really tell, but you'll be able to find this easy. There's a number 10 connector over there. It's kind of holding this together. Be careful that that bolt does not roll away from you like it did on me. So now we can remove this little thing and just put it aside. Now we're dealing with steering wheel, this electronic thing. At this point you could just remove the steering wheel, and I'm not sure if it's got, can't remember. Yeah, it's got like this type of tool. It's a regular tool that comes with your Mercedes, so if you have it, great. If you don't, you'll need to use the Torx. So looks like that's one out. This is to remove, right now we're removing the airbag. So if you have the right tools, but you'll need one of these. It's got like two different sizes. We got a smaller one and a little bit bigger one, right in the same tool. And then also we have this, which is original flat head, and this. Sometimes you could just use original stuff. They're completely fine to use. So it looks like we still got a couple more turns left. So that one's out. A couple more turns left on that other one. So it's out. Then remove the airbag like this and just disconnect it. So we have the airbag right here. Alright, now we're dealing with the Phillips head. So I'm gonna pause this right now and grab the appropriate. So I have the appropriate tool right here. You'll just need one of these Allen wrenches. It's a 10mm one. But I'm sure you could try some on and some off. Yeah, before we remove that, we'll need to just push those little tabs right on there to disconnect the airbags. So one of them has a tab, the other one doesn't. So now that we have them off, oh yeah, and look at my steering wheel. There's no key inside. It just kind of goes like this. That's another issue that we have to address probably this summer. Then basically just regular way you have to untighten it. Yours might be super tight on there, so you might need to use some kind of impact wrench type of tool to get it loose. Sometimes they are kind of loose in there. So let's loosen this bolt up. Yeah, remove it as simple as that. You really don't want to jerk it like I did, but just kind of slipped out because you don't want to rip these wires. So now we have these other things to worry about. So I'm going to pause it. We're going to use some smaller heads. Alright guys, to remove this sometimes kind of goes out of place. Technically sometimes the screw points are supposed to be over there, but they're not. They're kind of like right there. And when I assembled it, it was correctly, but then it kind of like offsets like this. I really kind of don't get it. I know it's just the way that's put together. Sometimes you have to put it in like sideways like that. If you see that, you know what I'm saying about, you just cannot simply stick a screwdriver to undo these little bolts. I don't know why it's like that. Okay, so now that one's out. Okay. So you can kind of align it back, but then sometimes when you're putting it in there, the way you aim it and stuff, for it to fall exactly within those appropriate perimeters, let's say, it just will not fit properly. So that portion's out. Let's continue. Alright guys, let's continue. We're gonna go ahead and remove the electronic fuse box here. Sometimes this fuse box, it is kind of like messed up and you cannot really undo your bolt sometimes. And this one was messed up, but I basically glued it. So now it's okay. I'm just gonna loosen it just a little bit. Now I gotta loosen the bottom one. Does not matter where you start. Okay, the bottom one might be number 8. So let me grab a number 8. Since those parts are really not that hard, you know, to tighten or undo, I'm gonna use this from my mechanics toolkit. That's weird. That's still not doing it. What's weird is it is actually number 10. It's just not very tight for some reason. Keep dropping bolts. Put it in there. So now we gotta undo this one. And as I'm undoing it, actually it's pushing itself out. This fuse panel thing. So now I have all this things back there. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug all that stuff. Let me see if I'm gonna put it close. Alright, I need to unplug all this stuff here. Just simply wiggle them out of place. But you can't do it for all of them. Like some of them got these little tabs. Believe it or not, these tabs are kind of hard to press. But I never really pressed them. I always yanked them out of there. It was never a problem. Yeah, we do need to disconnect this red wire. So just simply lift this thing up, expose it, kind of stand it up like that. This is the power cable. It's got its own bolt, so it's just gonna stay on the wire. Usually I remove this before I actually start unplugging stuff. So now we have the fuse panel. Fuse panel is out. Okay, we're gonna need to remove this electronical portion. There's a couple bolts over here on top, and I could have done that to begin with, to remove this little piece here, but I didn't. It doesn't really matter. There's no right or wrong way, but sometimes you might want to remove all the plastics, you know, before you do that kind of stuff. So This is removed. This is my GPS wire, just kind of laying in there. So this here, I do want to mention, yeah, this here electronical piece, see there's no sticker? That's exactly how it goes. If you're gonna put it with the sticker way like this, it's not gonna work. You won't be able to put a steering wheel proper way. So now it's time to remove this here. There's two bolts right there, two screws that's holding it. So we'll just need something like this, like a Phillips head screws to undo it. I got my GoPro. Hopefully I'll be able to catch this. There's no screen in a GoPro, so it's kind of hard to tell. But due to the wide angle lens, it might get it actually. Let's see. If not, then there's nothing I could do really. But self-explanatory anyways. It's just two screws that's holding things in place. So we just need to take this here, and you got the cruise control module right there. We'll need to disconnect. Okay, now this is disconnected. Put it to the side. Alright, so most of these gadgets are kinda disconnected, and we got this one here. It has to do with the ignition tumbler. I will go ahead and disconnect it as well. We will be pulling it out, so I'll disconnect it and move it out of my way. Alright people, now this is the moment of truth. Stay tuned for the next clip.